Hello, I am Jill Scharfman, and this is a mini episode of Let My People Eat, where I share a personal story, a parable, or a bit of Jewish history from which we can all learn something. Rabbi Dr. Abraham Twersky is a founder and medical director of the Gateway Rehabilitation Center in Western Pennsylvania. It is nationally cited as one of the 12 best drug and alcohol treatment centers by Forces magazine. Dr. Twersky has written over 60 books on various topics, from Hasidic ideas to about chemical dependency, addiction, and topics such as stress, self-esteem, and spirituality. Now, on Shabbos, Dr. Twersky has many guests in his home in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where I'm from. As a matter of fact, Dr. Twersky's wife, Goldie, was one of my favorite teachers in high school. And when Dr. Twersky has these guests, he tells them remarkable stories of Hasidic life and the Rebbe, which he heard from his father and grandfather while he was growing up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. During one Shabbos meal, after he finished his story, one of his guests said, "Wow, that was a great story. Why doesn't the rabbi put all these stories into a book and share them with the public?" With the young man's help, Rabbi Twersky took his advice, and he published in 1986 his first book of these stories entitled From Generation to Generation. Now, the book was well received in many circles, and it went as far as Venice, California. And a woman named Marilyn, a respected lecturer on sports nutrition, received a copy of Rabbi Twersky's new book as a thank you gift for helping a friend. She read the book and took many of the ideas to heart. She was divorced in her 30s and trying to raise her young son by herself. She had her share of difficulties in life, but always tried to remain upbeat. Rabbi Twersky's book was a great boost for her. In June 1986, she was returning home from a speaking engagement in New Jersey. Her Thursday afternoon flight to California had a scheduled stopover in Pittsburgh, and she was pressed for time. Her son David was leaving for sleepaway camp the following Sunday. It would be the first time they would be separated for a long period, and she wanted to get home and spend time with him. Thursday, June 12, 1986, was also Erev Shavuos, the two-day holiday that went into Shabbos, celebrating the Jewish nation's acceptance of Torah on Mount Sinai. Marilyn was not the most observant individual, but she knew about the holiday and wished to be home before it started. Unfortunately, her flight to Pittsburgh was delayed, and she missed her flight to Los Angeles. Now she would be stuck in Pittsburgh for the holiday. She didn't know anyone, and she was worried about her son, but she called relatives in Los Angeles who assured her that they would take care of him. They advised her to find a rabbi in Pittsburgh and ask for help. She didn't know what to do, but then she remembered reading Rabbi Twersky's book jacket, which said he lived in Pittsburgh. She quickly took a cab to the Gateway Rehabilitation Center, only to find that it was closing, and the rabbi had already left. She explained her situation to someone there, and they called Rabbi Twersky's son. He found her a place to stay near her father's home and invited her to join him at the rabbi's house for meals. She was so distressed that she was stuck in a foreign place without her son, but she knew she had to make the best of it. There were many guests at Rabbi Twersky's house that night. Marilyn relaxed and actually enjoyed herself. She spoke to many of the other guests, and they all shared many life experiences. After hearing her life story and how she was single but eager to get married, someone suggested a possible match. The man, whose name was Stephen, happened to be eating at Rabbi Twersky that night as well. Marilyn was introduced to Stephen, and they had a few conversations over the holiday. They enjoyed each other's company and felt comfortable with each other. That Sunday, she flew back to L.A., and a short time later, Stephen flew out to continue the dating process. And with wondrous hashgacha pratis, in 5 weeks, the two were engaged. After they were married, they settled in Pittsburgh, and this is where I met them, and had 4 beautiful children. Marilyn couldn't be happier. She found a husband when she least expected, and her life changed for the better. It wasn't until a while later they were married that she learned the rest of the story. The young man who had been sitting at Rabbi Twersky's table and originally suggested that he publish a book of stories and was vitally helpful in the publication was none other than Stephen himself. His words and actions turned out to be the vehicle used to bring his own wife to him. God works in mysterious ways. He could help everyone when they least expect it in the blink of an eye. I am Jill Scharfman, and I hope this makes your day a little more satisfying.